Champagne as we know it today is the result of over 3 centuries of experience and innovation. Just after picking, which is exclusively by hand, the grapes are transported to pressing centers. Each delivery of grapes is weighed and recorded. The clusters must be pressed whole, except in the case of rosé, which is obtained either by maceration or signé. In this case, the clusters are first crushed, then left to macerate for a few hours until the desired color is achieved. In order to extract only the highest quality juices, the grapes are pressed slowly and gently. The juices are separated into fractions, with the first pressing known as the cuvée and the second as the taille. Press yields are restricted. After being transferred into tanks, the juices are clarified by settling or débourbage. The first stage of vinification is alcoholic fermentation, which converts the grape juice into wine. This may be followed by malolactic fermentation, which converts malic acid into lactic acid, reducing the wine's acidity and introducing brioche notes. Following a second clarification, the wines, which are still wines at this stage, are left to settle in tanks or barrels. The next stage, which takes place during the early months of the following year, is blending. The art of blending is to combine wines obtained from different varieties, crus and years, to create a cuvée that is superior to the sum of its parts, with the exception of vintage champagne, which is produced entirely from grapes grown in a single year. To create a blended rosé, a small amount of still red wine from Champagne is incorporated at this stage. Prior to bottling, the winemaker adds a small quantity of liqueur, a mixture of wine, sugar and yeasts, which triggers a second fermentation. This process is known as prise de mousse, or capturing the sparkle, since the carbon dioxide it produces dissolves into the wine, creating bubbles that will only be released when the bottle is opened. The bottles embark on a long maturation period in the producer's cellar, with a minimum of 15 months for a non-vintage wine and at least 3 years for a vintage wine. At the end of the aging period, which is determined by the winemaker, the dead yeasts have formed a deposit at the bottom of the bottle. Riddling is the process of moving this sediment into the neck of the bottle before expelling it through disgorgement. The last step is dosage, the addition of a small quantity of sugar dissolved in wine known as a liqueur. Finally, the bottle is sealed with a cork and wire cage.